The lights in the War Council chamber were dim and cold. Commander Vexstar stood at the center of the room, his forearms crossed behind his back. His green skin looked darker in the shadows. Around him sat the most powerful beings in the galaxy. They were not happy. "Humans are spreading," Vexstar said. His voice was deep and rough, like a disease. The other council members shifted in their seats. Some had scales, others had fur. A few looked like giant insects. They all shared one thing: fear of the humans. "How many sectors now?" asked General Morkith. Her tentacles moved slowly as she spoke. 17, Vexstar replied. "In just 3 months. 3 months ago, the humans had joined the Galactic Coalition. Everyone thought they would be easy to control. Humans were small. They had no claws or fangs. Their skin was soft. They looked weak, but something strange was happening. And everywhere humans went, other species started to change. They stopped following orders. They asked questions. They wanted to make their own choices. It's not normal," said High Priest Sekalon. His insect eyes clicked as he spoke. "Species don't just ... change like this." Vexstar walked to the large screen on the wall. It showed a map of the galaxy. Red dots marked human activity. There were too many red dots. "Show them the reports," he said. The screen changed. Now it showed videos from different worlds. On each world, the same thing was happening. Humans were working with other species. They were sharing food. They were laughing together. They were building things. "This is from Sector 7, Vexstar said. "The Rocktar used to be perfect workers. They followed every order. Now look." The video showed large, rock-like beings sitting in a circle with humans. They were ... talking. Just talking. Some were even smiling. "They refused to work in the mines," Vexstar continued. "They say the humans taught them about fair pay and rest days." "What are rest days?" General Morkith's tentacles turned purple with anger. "This is getting worse. My own soldiers are asking about these rest days now." The screen showed more videos. Humans teaching alien children games. Humans helping old aliens carry heavy things. Humans sharing their food with hungry families. "They call it being nice," said Vexstar. "But it's destroying everything. Our whole system depends on order, on species knowing their place." High Priest Zekalon stood up. His wings buzzed with worry. "The humans are making other species think they're equal." "Equal? Can you imagine?" "There's more," Vexstar said. The screen changed again. This is the worst part. The new video showed a human woman. She was small, with dark hair and kind eyes. She wore simple clothes and was smiling at the camera.
Actor.
Hanmingi, Vexstar said. Human scientist, age 28. "She's been studying on Kepler-4 for 2b for 6 months. "What's she doing there?" asked General Morkith. "That's the problem. We don't know, but look at this." The screen showed 3 different alien species. They were all from Kepler-4 4b. The crystal. People called Velinari. The water people called Morden. The bug people called Zilkit. "These 3 species have been at war for 1,000 years, Vexstar explained. They hate each other. They've been fighting over resources, land, everything." "Good," said High Priest Sekalon. "War keeps them busy. They can't cause trouble for us." "Not anymore," Vexstar said. 3 weeks ago, they stopped fighting. All of them. They formed an alliance. The room went quiet. Alliance was a dangerous word. "How?" asked General Morkith. "Dr. Han Minji," Vexstar said. "She's been working with all 3 species. It's teaching them to work together. She calls it cooperation." The screen showed more videos. The 3 species were sharing resources. They were helping each other build homes. They were eating meals. Together, it gets worse, Vexstar continued. "They've stopped paying tribute to the Coalition. They say they're free people now. They want to govern themselves." General Morkith's tentacles turned bright red. "Rebellion," not rebellion, Vexstar said something worse. "They're not angry. They're not fighting us. They're just ... ignoring us. They act like we don't matter." High Priest Zekalon's wings buzzed faster. "This human woman, she's done all this. Our spies say she just talks to them. She listens to their problems. Helps them solve things together. She makes them laugh. Laugh? General Morketh spit on the floor. What good is laughing? I don't know, Vexstar admitted, but it's working. Here it's spreading. Other worlds are sending messages to Kepler-4 They want to know about this cooperation thing. The council members looked at each other. They were scared, though the humans were changing everything without using any weapons. We need to stop this, said High Priest Sikalan, before it spreads further. How? Asked General Morketh. Can't fight ideas with guns. Vexter smiled. He's not a nice smile. We can fight the person spreading the ideas. He pressed a button on his control pad. The screen changed again. Now, it showed a creature that made everyone in the room go quiet. The creature was huge, 9 feet tall. Its skin was black and covered in armor plates. It had 4 arms, each ending in claws as long as swords. Its head was shaped like a skull with red eyes that seemed to burn. Stalker Prime Raxun, Vexter said. Hunter-class predator. Built by the Kethmoran war scientists. The creature on the screen moved. Even in the video, it looked dangerous. It moved like death itself. It can track prey across star systems, Vexstar explained. It can smell fear from miles away. It can see in the dark. Never gets tired. It never gives up. It has never failed a hunt, added High Priest Sekalan. Never, Vexter agreed. 47 missions, 47 kills. From simple rebels to army generals, it kills them all. General Morketh leaned forward. You want to send it after the human woman? Dr. Han Mingi is the source, Vexter said. Remove her, and this madness stops. The 3 species will go back to fighting each other. Order will return. What about witnesses? Asked High Priest Sekalan. There won't be any, Vexter said. The planet is mostly empty. Just the research station and the 3 species small settlements. Raxun will make it look like an accident. The council voted. It was quick. Everyone said yes. Good, Vexstar said. I'll send the orders today. Within a week, Dr. Han Mingi will be dead, and this human infection will die with her. But as the council members left, none of them noticed something important. In all their videos and reports about Dr. Han Mingi, she never looked scared. Never looked angry. She always looked ... happy, and that should have worried them more than anything else. 3 days later, Stalker Prime Raxun climbed into its attack pod. The destination was set, Kepler-4 for DB. The mission was simple. Kill the human woman. It would be the Predator's biggest mistake. The 2 suns of Kepler-442b were setting when Dr. Han Mingi finished her work for the day. Walked out of her small research station and looked at the purple sky. Out. The air was warm and smelled like flowers. Her station was simple. Just 3. Metal buildings connected by covered walkways. Solar panels on the roofs. A garden where she grew vegetables. It looked peaceful and safe, but it wasn't safe anymore. High above the planet, a black pod moved through space. No lights, no sound. Inside the pod, Stalker Prime Raxun waited. The pod's computers had been watching the human woman for hours. Target located, the computer said in a cold voice. Kter? Han Mingi confirmed. Raxun's red eyes opened. After 3 days of travel, it was ready to hunt. The Predator looked at its weapons. Claws sharp enough to cut metal. Teeth that could crush bone. Muscles that could lift a small car. Beginning descent, the computer announced. The pod fell toward the planet like a black stone. It would land in the forest near the research station. Then the hunt would begin. Mingi didn't know about the pod. She was busy making dinner. Tonight she was cooking for more than just herself. Her 3 friends would come soon. First was Huel, a Velinari. His body was made of living crystal that changed colors when he talked. He was shy but very smart. Knew everything about the planet's weather. Second was Bama Morden. She looked like a large frog with silver skin. She lived in the lake near the station. She was funny and told the best stories. Third was Tal, a Zilkit. He looked like a giant mantis with gold wings. He was the wisest of all the insects on the planet. He always asked interesting questions. 6 months ago, these three species had been enemies. They fought over water, food, and land. Many had died in their wars. Now they were friends. They ate dinner together every night. They helped each other solve problems. They shared their knowledge. All because of Minji, the attack pod crashed into. The forest 2 miles from the station, trees fell. The ground shook. Animals ran away in fear. But Minji just looked up from her cooking and smiled. Right on time, she said to herself. She had been expecting this. 3 days ago. Her assistant Park Dong-yoon had sent her a message from Earth. The coalition was angry about her work. They might send someone to stop her. Minji wasn't surprised. She knew her research was changing things. She knew the coalition didn't like change, but she also knew something else. She knew that violence wasn't the only way to solve problems. In the forest, Raxon climbed out of the broken pod. The predator was 9 feet tall and covered in black armor. Its claws gleamed in the moonlight. Its red eyes scanned the darkness. The predator's enhanced senses told it everything. The human woman was 1.7 miles away. She was alone. She was cooking something that smelled like meat and vegetables. Perfect. Easy prey. Raxon had killed 47 targets. Soldiers, rebels, scientists, politicians. All had died the same way. Fast and silent. This would be number 48. The predator moved through the forest like a shadow. It made no sound. It left no tracks. It was death itself, moving toward its victim. But as it got closer to the station, something strange happened. The predator could smell the human woman, yes, but it could also smell something else, happiness. That was impossible. Ksun had never smelled happiness before. Fear, yes. Anger, yes. Pain, yes. But happiness? That was new. The predator stopped behind a large tree and watched the research station. The human woman was outside, stirring something in a big pot over a fire. She was humming a song. Then something even stranger happened. 3 aliens walked out of the darkness toward the woman. The predator's muscles tensed, prepared to kill. All 4 of them, but instead of attacking the woman, the aliens sat down near the fire. They were talking and laughing. The crystal alien's body turned bright blue. Minji, that smells wonderful. The frog alien clapped her hands. Did you make that bread I like? The insect alien bowed politely. Thank you for inviting us again. The human woman smiled. Of course, we're family now. Family. But the predator didn't. Understand, these were different species. How could they be family? Raxon watched them eat together. They shared food. They told jokes. They asked about each other's day. The crystal alien talked about the weather. The frog alien told a story about her children. The insect alien shared wisdom about the stars. And the human woman listened to all of them. She asked questions. Cared about their answers? This was not what the predator expected. Its targets were supposed to be afraid. They were supposed to run. They were supposed to fight. But these 4 just sat around a fire eating and talking like friends. The predator had been trained for many things. How to track. To kill. How to disappear. But it had never been trained for this. After an hour, the 3 aliens said goodbye and left. The crystal alien gave the woman a small, glowing stone. For light, he said, the frog alien gave her a special fish. For breakfast. She said, the insect alien gave her a flower that sang. For beauty, he said, the human woman hugged each of them. See you tomorrow, she said. Then she was alone. This was the predator's chance. It crept closer to the station. The woman was cleaning the dishes from dinner. Her back was turned. Raxon stepped out of the shadows, its claws extended. Its eyes glowed red. The woman said without turning around, You must be hungry after that long trip. The predator froze. She knew it was there. Minji turned around and looked at the 9-foot killing machine. She wasn't scared. She wasn't angry. She was just ... curious. I made extra food, she said. I always do in case someone drops by. Walked to the pot and filled a bowl with stew. Then she set it on the ground between them. It's vegetable stew, she said. But I have some meat if you prefer. The predator stared at her. This was impossible. Humans were supposed to scream when they saw a hunter-class predator. They were supposed to run or beg for their lives. But this human was offering it food. "I'm Mingy," she said. "What's your name?" Name. The predator had never been asked its name before. It had a designation, Stalker Prime Raccoon. But a name? That was for people, not weapons. The predator started to say, then stopped. Its voice was rough from not being used much. "It's okay," Mingy said. "You don't have to tell me yet. Would you like to sit down?" The predator looked at the bowl of stew. It smelled good. But this was wrong. It was supposed to kill this woman, not eat with her. "I know why you're here," Mingy said softly. "The coalition sent you to stop me." The predator's claws extended fully. Finally, the hunt could begin. But then Mingy did something that broke all the rules. She smiled. "Oh, that's okay," she said. "I understand. They're scared of what we're doing. Here, change is scary." She sat down by the fire and looked up at the stars. "Do you ever wonder what it's like up there? All those different worlds, all those different people?" The predator didn't know what to say. It had traveled to many worlds, but it had never wondered about them. It just killed and left. "I think about it all the time," Mingy continued. "So many different ways to live, so many different ways to think. Isn't that amazing?" For the first time in its life, Stalker Prime Raccoon didn't know what to do. The hunt was supposed to be simple. Find the target. Kill the target. Mission complete. But nothing about this was simple. The predator looked at the bowl of stew, then at the human, woman, then at the stars above. And for the first time in its life, it felt something new, confusion. The first morning was the strangest of Raccoon's life. The predator had spent the night watching the human woman's station. It didn't sleep. It didn't eat the stew she offered. It just watched and waited for the right moment to kill her, but that moment never came. When the sun rose, Mingy came outside and saw the predator still standing by the trees. She waved at it like it was an old friend. "Good morning," she called out. "Did you sleep well? Sleep?" The predator didn't sleep. It was a weapon. Weapons didn't sleep. "I'm making breakfast," Mingy said. "There's plenty if you want some." Raccoon's stomach made a noise. It hadn't eaten in 3 days. The predator was confused by this feeling. Hunger was not supposed to affect its mission. Mingy heard the sound and smiled. "I'll take that as a yes." She brought out a plate of food and set it on the ground, then sat down nearby. Not too close, not too far. Just the right distance to show she wasn't afraid, but also wasn't forcing anything. "You know," she said, cutting her bread, "I've never met anyone like you before. What species are you?" The predator stared at the food. It smelled good. Really good. "I'm Kethmorin," it said finally. The words felt strange coming out of its mouth. When was the last time it had talked to someone instead of just killing them? "Kethmorin," Mingy repeated. "That's a beautiful name for a people. Are you from far away?" Far away? The predator had traveled across the galaxy. It had seen 100 worlds, but it had never thought about distance in terms of home. "Yes," it said. "Do you miss it?" "Miss it." The predator had never considered this question. It had left its birth world as a young creature. It had been trained to kill. It had been sent on missions. It had never thought about missing anything. "I don't know," Raccoon admitted. Mingy nodded like this was a perfectly normal answer. "That's okay. Sometimes it takes time to figure out what we miss." She ate her breakfast in comfortable silence. The predator watched her. She ate slowly, enjoying each bite. She looked at the flowers in her garden. She listened to the birds singing. She seemed ... peaceful. After breakfast, 3 familiar figures approached the station. The crystal alien, the frog alien, and the insect alien. Raccoon's muscles tensed. He prepared to fight, but Mingy just smiled. "Good morning, everyone. I want you to meet someone." The 3 aliens stopped when they saw the predator. Their eyes went wide. The crystal alien's body turned dark red with fear. The frog alien stepped backward. The insect alien's wings buzzed nervously. It's okay, Mingy said gently. Well, what should I call you? The predator looked at her, then at the three aliens. They were afraid. Good. Fear was normal. Fear made sense, Raxon, it said. This is Raxon, Mingy said. He's visiting from far away. The crystal alien Huel spoke first. His voice was shaky. Mingy, ... that's a hunter-class predator. I know, she said simply. They're designed to kill, said Bomb the frog alien. I know that too, Mingy said. Why is it here? Asked Tal. The insect alien Mingy looked at Raxon. Why are you here? The predator could have lied, could have said it was exploring, it could have said it was lost, but something about this human woman made lying feel ... wrong. I was sent. To kill you, it said. The three aliens gasped. Act! But Mingy just nodded. I thought so, she said. The Coalition doesn't like what we're doing here, and you're not afraid? Asked Hel. Should I be? Mingy asked Raxon. The predator looked at her. Such a small creature, so fragile. It could kill her with one swipe of its claws. But when it looked into her eyes, it saw something it had never seen before. Trust. She trusted it. Even knowing what it was. Even knowing why it was there. I don't know, the predator said. Well, Mingy said. How about we find out together? And that's how the strangest 3 days of Raxon's life began. On the first day, Mingy showed the predator her research. She explained how the three species had been fighting for 1,000 years, how they had hated each other, how they had killed each other's children. But look at them now, she said. Raxon watched. Huel was teaching Bomb how to grow crystal flowers in her underwater garden. Tal was sharing his knowledge of the stars with both of them. They were working together to solve a problem with the water supply. How? The predator asked. I listened, Mingy said. I found out what each of them needed, what they were afraid of, what they hoped for. And then I helped them see that they all wanted the same things. Safety for their families, food for their children, a future without fear. The predator watched the three aliens work together. They were laughing. They were helping each other. They were ... happy. The Coalition says this is wrong, Raxon said. What do you think? Mingy asked. The predator didn't know what to think. It had been taught that order came from strength, that peace came from fear, that cooperation was weakness, but this didn't look like weakness. On the second day, Mingy asked the predator to help with a problem. A storm was coming. The research station needed to be protected. I can't do it alone, she said. And my friends are busy protecting their own homes. Why would I help you, Raxon asked.
Axe.
Because you're here, she said simply. Asked. The predator stared at her. No one had ever asked it for help before. People usually just ordered it to kill things. I don't know how to help, it admitted. It's okay, Mingy said. I'll teach you. She showed the predator how to tie down equipment, how to cover the solar panels, how to secure the buildings, work that had nothing to do with killing. As they worked, Mingy talked. She told the predator about Earth, about her childhood, about why she became a scientist. Why I wanted to understand things, she said. People, animals, plants, stars. I wanted to know how everything worked together. Everything fights, the predator said. That's how things work. Sometimes Mingy agreed, but not always. Look, she pointed to a tree. In its branches, different types of birds were sharing the same nest. They were different colors, different sizes, but they were working together. The blue birds are good at finding food, she explained. The red birds are good at building. The yellow birds are good at watching for danger. Together, they're stronger than any of them alone. The predator looked at the birds, then it looked at Mingy, then it looked at the three aliens in the distance, still working together. Is that what you're doing here? It asked. Making different species work together? I'm not making them do anything, Mingy said. I'm just showing them that they can choose to work together. They're stronger when they do. That night, the storm came. The wind howled. The rain fell like bullets. But the research station stood strong. The predator's work had helped save it. Thank you, Mingy said. The predator felt something warm in its chest. It had never felt this before. Later, it would learn that humans called this feeling pride, but not the pride of killing, pride of helping. On the third day, everything changed. Mingi was teaching some young Zilkit how to paint. They were small insects, about the size of human children. They were using bright colors to make pictures of flowers and stars. The predator watched from a distance. The young insects were laughing. They were showing each other their paintings. Proud of their work, one of the small insects dropped its brush. It started to cry. Without thinking, Raxon walked over. It picked up the brush and handed it to the small creature. "Thank you," the young insect said in a tiny voice. The predator felt that warm feeling again, but stronger this time. "You're welcome," it said. Minji smiled. "You're a natural teacher." "I'm not a teacher," the predator said. "I'm a weapon." "Maybe," Minji said. "Or maybe you're both. Maybe you're whatever you choose to be." That night, as the three aliens went home, they each stopped to thank the predator. For helping with the storm, for being gentle with the children, for protecting their friend Minji. "You're not what we expected," Tal said. "Neither were you," the predator replied. After they left, Mingi and Raxon sat by the fire. The stars were bright above them. "The coalition will want to report soon," Mingi said quietly. The predator nodded. Its mission was supposed to be complete. By now, Dr. Han Minji should be dead. The rebellion should be over. Instead, the predator was sitting by a fire, feeling things it had never felt before. Learning things it had never learned before. "What will you tell them?" Minji asked. Raxon looked at her. 3 days ago, the answer would have been simple. Mission complete. Target eliminated. Now the predator didn't know what to say. For the first time in its life, Stalker Prime Raxon was learning what it meant to choose. The communication device in Raxon's chest began to beep. The predator was sitting by Minji's fire, watching her teach young Tal how to make soup. The small insect was having trouble holding the spoon with his tiny claws. "Here," Minji said gently. "Try holding it like this." The beeping got louder, more urgent. Raxon knew what it meant. The coalition wanted a report. They wanted to know if the mission was complete. They wanted to know if Dr. Han Minji was dead. "You should answer that," Minji said without looking up from the cooking lesson. The predator hesitated. For 3 days, it had ignored the coalition's calls. It had told itself it was gathering information, learning about the target, but that wasn't true. It had been learning about something else entirely. Stalker Prime Raxon responded immediately. Came a voice from the device. It was Commander Vexstar. He sounded angry. Raxon looked at Minji. She was smiling as young Tal successfully stirred the soup. The little insect was so proud of himself. "Answer it," she said again. "They're worried about you." Predator activated the communication device. A hologram appeared above its chest. Commander Vexter's face looked down at them, his 4 eyes scanning the scene. "Stalker Prime report status," Vexstar commanded. "Mission." "In progress," Raxom said. Vexstar's eyes narrowed. "In progress? It's been 3 days. The target should be eliminated by now. The situation is ... complex. ... Vexter's voice. "Rose, you're a hunter-class predator. You kill things. How is that complex?" Minji looked up at the hologram. "Hello?" she said politely. "You must be Commander Vexstar. I've heard about you." Vexstar's face went pale. "The target is alive." "Talking to me? Stalker Prime? Explain this immediately." "I am studying her methods," Raxon said. "It wasn't exactly a lie. To understand how she controls the other species." "She doesn't control anyone," said young Tao, looking up from his soup. "She's our friend." Vexstar stared at the small insect. "Is that ... a Zilkit child? Why is it talking to the human?" "Because we're cooking together," Tal said simply. "Minji is teaching me to make food." "Teaching?" Vexstar looked like he might be sick. "The target is teaching enemy species." "They're not enemies," Minji said. "They're children." More figures appeared in the hologram. General Morkith and High Priest Zekalon. They looked shocked. General Morkith said, her tentacles turning purple. "Kill the target now, that's an order." Raxon felt something twist in its chest. not the warm feeling it had learned to like. Something cold and sharp. Do it now, High Priest, Zekalon buzzed. End this madness. The predator looked at its claws. They were still sharp, still deadly. It could kill Minji in 1 second. The mission would be complete. But it also looked at young Tal, who was still stirring the soup. At the paintings the children had made yesterday hanging on the walls. The garden where all 3 species worked together. Stalker Prime, Vexstar shouted. Obey your orders. Wait, said a new voice. Everyone turned. Huel, the crystal alien, was walking toward them. His body was bright blue with determination. Don't hurt her, he said to the predator. Behind him came Bomb, the frog alien. Please, she said. Minji is our friend. Then came Tal's father, the wise insect leader. She has brought peace to our world. More aliens appeared, dozens of them, all 3 species standing together. Adults and children, workers and leaders. All of them protecting the human woman. Amazing, whispered General Morkith. Hush. They're defending her. This is wrong, High Priest, Zekalon said. Hush. This goes against nature. Does it? Asked old Tal. It wrong to protect someone who protects you? Vexstar's face was getting redder. Stalker Prime, these creatures are the enemy. Kill them all. Raxone stood up slowly. All the aliens stepped back, except Mingi. She stayed where she was, looking up at the predator. You don't have to, she said quietly. You can choose? Choose? Vexstar laughed. It's a weapon. Weapons don't choose. Everyone chooses, Mingi said. Even weapons. The predator looked around, the coalition leaders on the hologram demanding death. The aliens around the fire asking for protection. At Minji, who was asking for nothing, I choose, Raxon said. Good, said Vexstar. Kill them, no. The word came out before the predator could stop it. Simple, final, clear. The hologram went silent. What did you say? Vexstar whispered. I said no. Roxanne's voice was stronger now. I will not kill Dr. Mingi. I will not kill the others. This is impossible, General Morkith said. Check its programming. Programming is fine, High Priest. Zekalon said, reading data from his tablet. This is something else. Vexstar leaned forward. Stalker Prime, you have been infected by the human disease. Return to base immediately for cleaning. What disease? Asked Bomb. Hope, said Vexter. Friendship, cooperation, all human diseases that destroy proper order. Minji laughed, not a mean laugh, a happy one. Those aren't diseases, those are gifts. Gifts that destroy civilizations, Vexstar snarled. Stalker Prime, listen to me. These feelings you think you have, they're not real. You're a weapon. Return to base, and we'll fix you. Fix. The predator thought about the last 3 days, about helping build shelter, about teaching young aliens to paint, about sitting by the fire and feeling ... peaceful. I don't want to be fixed, it said. The coalition leaders looked at each other. They were scared. Send another hunter, General Morkith said. Send a squad of them. High Priest Zekalon agreed. Send a fleet if you have to, Vexter said. This madness ends now. Minji stepped forward. Or, she said, you could try talking to us. Talk, Vexter spat. We don't talk to diseases. Then you'll keep sending hunters, Minji said, and we'll keep showing them what friendship looks like. They'll keep choosing to stay. Impossible, said General Morkith. Is it, Minji asked? Look at your perfect weapon. Look at what happened to it. They all looked at Raxon. The predator was standing among the aliens, not threatening them, protecting them. How many hunters will you send before you realize the truth? Mingi continued. That beings who are treated with kindness become kind? That creatures who are shown love learn to love? Love is weakness, Vexter said. Then why is your strongest weapon choosing it over you? The question hung in the air. No one had an answer. Finally, High Priest Zekalon spoke. We'll send a battle fleet, 100 ships, 1,000 hunters, and we'll be waiting, said old Tal, all of us, together. The infection will not spread beyond this world, Vexstar promised. It already has, Minji said softly. 17 sectors, remember? And growing every day. Vextor's face went white.
You're lying.
Check your reports, Minji said. How many worlds have stopped paying tribute? How many species are asking questions? How many of your own people are starting to wonder if there's a better way? The coalition leaders looked at each other again. Fear was clear in their eyes. Stalker Prime Vextar said one last time. Last chance. Complete your mission and return. Home. Be what you were made to be. Raxun looked around the circle. The aliens who trusted it. The children who had painted pictures for it. At Minji, who had offered it soup on the first night. I am what I was made to be, the Predator said. I'm just choosing to be more. Vextar's image flickered with rage. Then you're no longer one of us. Good, said Raxun. The communication ended. The hologram disappeared. In the sudden, quiet young tall tugged on the Predator's leg. Is the soup ready yet? Raxun looked down at the small insect. At the trust in his big eyes. At the simple question about simple things. Let me check, the Predator said, and knelt down to taste the soup they had made together. It was delicious. But in the distance, beyond the stars, a battle fleet was already forming. 1,000 hunters were being awakened. The Coalition's war. Machine was turning toward Kepler-4 for to be. The choice had been made. Now came the consequences. 1 week later, Stalker Prime Raxun stood in the War Council chamber again. But this time, everything was different. The Predator carried a heavy bag over its shoulder. Inside were Dr. Han Minji's research equipment, her personal belongings, and what looked like pieces of human clothing covered in blood. Commander Vextar smiled for the first time in months. Report, he said. Mission complete, Raxun said in its old, cold voice. Dr. Han Minji is dead. The council members cheered. General Morkith's tentacles turned bright yellow with joy. High Priest Sekalon's wings buzzed happily. Excellent, said Vextar. And the 3 species? Back to fighting each other, the Predator reported. The alliance is broken. They blame each other for the human's death. Perfect. Gester walked around the Predator, examining it. You look ... different. Did the human disease affect you? It tried, Rexone said. But I remembered what I am. A weapon. Nothing more. Good. And you brought proof. The Predator opened its bag. It pulled out Minji's research tablet, her clothes, and a small container with what looked like human blood.
DNA.
Confirmed, it said, the target is eliminated. Vextar took the tablet and scrolled through it. Interesting research, he said. These cooperation methods, we could use them to make other species work better for us. Perhaps the Predator agreed. Were there any witnesses? None that matter, Raxon said. The 3 species were too busy fighting to notice. High Priest Sekalon leaned forward. You feel nothing about this? No. ... Emotions. The Predator's red eyes stared at him. Emotions are weakness. I am a hunter-class Predator. I feel nothing. Excellent, said General Morkith. Then you're ready for your next mission? Yes, the Predator said. I am ready. The council dismissed Raxun. The Predator walked through the station's corridors, carrying its bag. Other aliens moved out. Of its way, they were afraid, as they should be. But as the Predator walked, something strange happened. It passed a communication terminal, and a message appeared on the screen. Just for a second. Too fast for security cameras to catch. The message said, package delivered safely. Thank you, friend. Raxun kept walking. Its expression never changed. 3 hours later, far across the galaxy, Admiral Quan Suho of the Human Defense Force sat in his office on Earth. His door chimed. Come in, he said. His assistant, Captain Lee Jinho, walked in with a datapad. Sir, we received a coded transmission from the Kepler-4 to B sector. Oh, Admiral Quan looked up. I thought that sector was under Coalition control. It is, sir. But the message came through back channels. Very secret. It's addressed to you personally. Admiral Quan took the datapad. The message was short but important. Admiral Quan, Dr. Minji, sends her regards. The research continues at the new location. Coordinates attached. We have new allies and valuable information about Coalition military capabilities. The Hunter-class Predator project files are included. Please send word to Park Dong-yoon that his friend is safe and the work is more important than ever. A friend, Admiral Kwan, read the message twice. Then he looked at the attached files. Complete genetic data on Coalition hunters. Detailed information about their weapons and ships. And most important of all, proof that the Coalition's perfect weapons could be ... changed. Captain Lee, he said slowly, get me a secure line to the Science Division and contact Park Dong-yoon immediately. Yes, sir. Is everything all right, Admiral? Kwan smiled. Better than all right, Captain. Much better. Meanwhile, in a hidden asteroid field near the edge of Coalition space, Dr. Han Minji was very much alive. She stood in the main hall of a new research station, much bigger than her old one. Around her, dozens of beings worked together. Velinary crystal singers, Morden water shapers, Zilkit builders, and others too, species that had heard about the cooperation on Kepler 44 to be and come to learn. How many today? Asked old Tao, walking up to her. 15 new ships, Minji said. 3 different species. They all want to know about the alliance. And tomorrow, 20 more expected, said Bomb, joining them. Word is spreading faster than we hoped. Fuel's crystal body glowed bright blue. The Coalition thinks they stopped us by faking your death, but they just made us invisible. Minji nodded. Sometimes the best way to win is to let your enemy think. They've already won. A door opened across the hall. A massive figure walked in. 9 feet tall, black armor, red eyes, but instead of weapons, it carried art supplies. The children are ready for their painting lesson, Raksoon said. Young Tal and his friends came running over Raksoon. Did you bring the special paints? Of course, the Predator said. Its voice was gentle now, not cold. Today we learn about mixing colors. Minji watched the former weapon kneel down to help the children. 6 months ago, this creature had been sent to kill her. Now it was teaching art to alien children. How does it feel? She asked Raksoon. As the children ran to get their brushes. How does what feel? Being free to choose. The Predator thought for a moment. Strange, it said. Good strange. And you don't miss your old life? Raksoon looked around the hall at the aliens working together, at the children playing, at the peaceful scene that would have been impossible under Coalition rule. No, it said. I was never alive before. I was just a tool that moved. Later that day, Mingi received another coded message. This one was from Park Dong-yoon on Earth. Mingi, Admiral Kwan says the information you sent is amazing. The Defense Force is very interested in your new research, but be careful. Intelligence. Reports show the Coalition is building more hunters. Different types. They're learning from what happened with Raksoon. Minji wasn't surprised. She had expected this. She walked to the station's communication center and sent a message to 17. Different star systems. All places where humans were working with other species. All places where cooperation was growing. The message was simple. They're sending more hunters, but we know something they don't. Every weapon they send can learn to choose. Every predator can become a protector. Get ready to make new friends. Within hours, the message reached human scientists, diplomats, and teachers across the galaxy. They all began preparing for new visitors, not preparing to fight them, preparing to show them kindness. Because if there was one thing humans were good at, it was turning enemies into family. Back on the Coalition station, Commander Vexstar stood in his office, looking at star charts. Red dots showed human activity. There were more red dots than ever before. How is this possible? He asked his aide. We killed the source. We stopped the infection. I don't know, sir, the aide said nervously. But reports show that cooperation is spreading faster than before. Vexstar slammed his fist on the desk. Send more hunters. Send 100. Send 1,000. Yes, sir. Which targets should they eliminate first? Vexstar pointed at the star chart. At all the red dots. At all the places where humans were changing the galaxy. All of them, he said. But what Vexstar didn't know was that every hunter he sent would face the same choice Raksoon had faced, between following orders and following their hearts. Between being weapons and being free, and in a hidden asteroid field, a former predator was teaching alien children that the most beautiful art came from mixing different colors together. The galaxy was changing, one choice at a time, one friendship at a time, one converted hunter at a time. The humans had found their greatest weapon. And it wasn't a gun or a ship or a bomb. It was kindness. And kindness, once it started spreading, was very hard to stop.